Part 21. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 201. After consuming 10,000 redemption points, Xiao Xian got the result he wanted. Then he knew how to deal with Xiao Tianyun's matter. Xiao Tianyun is the last direct bloodline of his branch. Whether it's as an uncle or a clan leader, we can't just sit back and watch his affairs. A terrifying aura instantly burst out from him. Although he doesn't remember what happened in the prehistoric times, but from Wang Shu and Hutu's feelings for him, he could guess the general reason. He might have been very powerful in the prehistoric times, but he is not strong enough to protect his lover. He even asked his lover to make sacrifices for it. Xiao Xian's heart couldn't calm down every time he thought about it. What's more, Xiao Tianyun still practices the Tao of Huang Tian with the will of Huang. What we will face in the future is not only the separation of wives and children, and the family is broken. He himself had experienced both kinds of pain. Therefore, he didn't want Xiao Tianyun to follow his old path. He entered his own cave world without hesitation. There are many treasures rewarded by the system here. Many spiritual trees with spiritual roots also take root and grow here. Xiao Xian's figure appeared directly on the hibiscus tree. Although there is only a hint of the aura of hibiscus wood, but the spiritual energy contained in it cannot be found in the entire heaven. What's more, it is an immortal level spiritual root. Even if only one of its branches appears in the sky, it can also attract the covetousness of the titled emperor. Even quasi-immortal. Xiao Xian directly spent 500,000 exchange points, and drop a drop of his blood, infused into hibiscus wood. Although the hibiscus branches are not as strong as the main trunk in the prehistoric times, but there is also a possibility of going against nature. But this probability is too slim. It's not worth fighting for Xiao Xian. What he has to do is to refine it into his own clone. So I once again spent 2 million exchange points. Help hibiscus wood further solidify. Thousands of years passed quickly. After thousands of years of refining by Xiao Xian, Fuzi trees burst out of the ground. A powerful momentum instantly broke through Wenjian Valley. This momentum is even worse than Xiao Xian. The surging momentum directly broke through to the first level of the titled Great Emperor before it stopped. Then a man who was 78% similar to Xiao Xian appeared in front of him. Surprisingly, it is Xiao Xian who has entered the golden body realm for the first time. Xiao Xian looked at the clone refined from fusang wood and nodded. With the innate spirituality of hibiscus wood, coupled with the realm of cultivation of the first level of the titled Great Emperor, even at the peak of the titled Emperor, even a quasi-immortal, he has the strength to fight. This exchange point is worth it. The dog system is a bit of a trap, but it's actually true. I've seen this person. The avatar stepped forward and kowtowed to Xiao Xian. Although the other party is stronger than Xiao Xian, but he also created it. Since he has the ability to create him, then have the same ability to destroy it. Xiao Xian nodded. Fellow Taoist, there is no need to be polite. I created you because I want you to do something for me. The clone smiled. You and I are one body. Although I am only transformed by a drop of your essence and blood, I have all the thoughts you had when you created me. Xiao Xian nodded. Then he took out the little 6 paths of samsara and handed it to him. You have to do this. This is the small 6 paths of reincarnation. You take it to the underworld of death. Create the underworld and create the 6 paths of reincarnation. When you first came to the world, you were created for reincarnation, so you are called reincarnation. Another thing is to find a girl named Mu. The clone reached out and took it. He was very satisfied with the name Xiao Xian gave him. I have seen this deity in reincarnation. When the 6 paths of reincarnation are created, it will be the time when your niece-in-law returns. The voice of reincarnation is extremely dull. But he has endless confidence. Xiao Xian is still very relieved about Samsara's strength. Time flies by. Sharp sword energy continued to come from a vacuum zone. The boundless sword energy continues to wreak havoc on this area. Endless sword intent strikes in all directions. Even the vacuum zone was stirred up by waves. The roar of sword energy kept coming from the sky. Wait until the sword energy dissipates. A man of the same age as Xiao Jiangxin appeared in front of him. This person's name is Zheng Xiaoshu. He was a good friend he had made when he was in the heavens. Calculation time is hundreds of thousands of years. Zheng Xiaoshu stepped up to Xiao Jiangxin. The folding fan in his hand opens and closes. I didn't expect that, after just 20,000 years of not seeing each other, you have become even more terrifying. When the two first met, Xiao Jiangxin's cultivation level was several levels lower than his. But the opponent's fighting power is not inferior to him at all. When the two were fighting, the other party even showed signs of surpassing him. This surprised him. In the subsequent time, Xiao Jiangxin continued to refresh his understanding of the degree of surprise. Until the other party only took 50,000 years to reach his level. Zheng Xiaoshu even said to him with emotion, "Monster." Xiao Jiangxin smiled. He took back the sword in his hand and looked at him. "You are still talking about me. In the past hundreds of thousands of years, you have done a lot of things that go against heaven. If it weren't for the restrictions of heaven, I'm afraid you would be just one step away from being a quasi-emperor. Logically speaking, such a terrifying person should be known to everyone, but you are unknown." Zheng Xiaoshu smiled and said nothing when he heard this. Then he took out his own rare tea. A big wave of his hand. A stone table and two stone benches appeared in front of them. "I know you love tea the most. Look what good things I have brought you this time. You may not like ordinary tea, but this one may not even be found in the heavens." Xiao Jiangxin was aroused by Zheng Xiaoshu's words. He hurriedly asked, "Oh? What kind of good tea is this? It doesn't even exist in the heavens." "Biangan flower tea." Then he concentrated on cooking. "The tea is good, but I don't know if the person making the tea can bring out the aroma of the tea." Xiao Jiangxin looked at Zheng Xiaoshu with interest. Unlike others, his looks are absolutely top-notch. Just like the immortals he had seen in the secret realm. There is an innate talent for being an immortal. Making tea? I say second, but no one in the world dares to say first. Zheng Xiaoshu confidently handed the tea he prepared to Xiao Jiangxin. Xiao Jiangxin glanced at it and then sniffed it gently. The aroma of tea assaults the taste buds. The water is fragrant, the fragrance is in the water contains the fragrance, the water is fragrant. Not bad, not bad. Wonderful. It is rich and sweet, delicate and smooth, and the aroma slowly comes out from the depth of the throat with the sweetness, and it is extremely long-lasting. Xiao Jiangxin tasted it carefully and praised it. Zheng Xiaoshu was punched again. "But compared to my family master, you are still a bit inferior." Zheng Xiaoshu shook his head. "You kid are never like this. You arouse my curiosity about your family master time and time again. But I clicked again and again, which made me suffer so much. I even couldn't wait to see it. What kind of magical person is the head of the family who makes you praise him again and again? The head of the family in Xiao Jian's heart. Not just in swordsmanship, martial arts, or even in talent. And the impact on the children of the family is huge. It was hard for him to imagine what kind of person he was. Only in this way can we have the best of both worlds. For this reason, he even went to inquire about the legendary deeds of the head of the family. Even the heavens give this legendary figure a wide berth. This shows what a powerful existence he is." Xiao Jiangxin smiled. He took out the Monkey King wine that he carried with him. This is Monkey King wine. Except for the master of the house, even if I want to drink it, I have to do something for him to drink it. Xiao Jiangxin nodded. This is the deadliest battle among geniuses. But the last time I negotiated with those monsters. There was some bitterness in the voice. Xiao Jiangxin was not surprised. Zheng Xiaoshu looked at him intently. Xiao Jiangxin saw this and did not ask the reason. Zheng Xiaoshu had a wedding. After hundreds of thousands of years of getting along, they already have a very thorough understanding of each other. He remembered those monsters very clearly. Good wine, good wine. He only needs a few moves to kill an ordinary opponent. There are some things he doesn't say. It even feels very normal. Enough to make them look for help. The two would bring each other spiritual wine and tea every time they met. After the disintegration of heaven, there are still several branches that have survived, and I am one of them. Do you believe it? After all these years, you have never asked me about my identity or my past. Aren't you curious? Even if he is despised by the world, it can't stop me from dating him. Zheng Xiaoshu looked back at him. Of course he wouldn't ask. Zheng Xiaoshu was touched in his heart. Xin, why don't you believe it? The Emperor of Heaven was born as a human being. And this little time. At this moment, even Xiao Jiangxin couldn't accept it and showed a look of horror. Zheng Xiaoshu took the wine and tasted it. But he found that it would take him a while to kill them. Xiao Jiangxin drank the remaining tea in his hand. Those people are my direct brothers. Zheng Xiaoshu smiled calmly when he heard this. Emperor Heaven, you must have heard of it, and the people of the heavenly court era at that time must also have some understanding of it. Is it possible that you are a demon? No matter what your identity is, as long as you are my friend. Xiao Jiangxin likes tea. Then he drank alone. Do you still remember the monsters who followed me when you first met me? Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 202. He even stood up uncontrollably. Can't imagine what the process is like. Only then can good people turn into monsters. This is simply appalling. Xiao Jiangxin's tone revealed deep disbelief. Zheng Xiaoshu was not surprised by this. This is just a normal operation. There are several bloodlines left in heaven, and mine is the purest direct bloodline. Even the old ministers of the heavenly court need to address me as Your Highness when they see me. Xiao Jiangxin was even more shocked when he heard this. Hundreds of billions of years passed. Heaven can actually preserve pure direct bloodline. And can be called His Highness. His status is even more noble. Xiao Jiangxin once read books about the heavenly court era in the library. The Emperor of Heaven recorded in the book is extremely majestic. The leader of the immortals with thunderous means. Just one word from him. Even a quasi-immortal is willing to die. Zheng Xiaoshu saw the confusion in Xiao Jiangxin's eyes. He smiled slightly bitterly. It's hard for you to imagine that the age of heaven has collapsed and fallen apart. Why is it that after hundreds of millions of years, the purest direct bloodline can still be preserved? Speaking of which, Zheng Xiaoshu's face turned ferocious. To keep the bloodline pure, my father fell in love with his biological sister, my mother. Xiao Jiangxin was surprised when she heard this. He had thought it was just a consanguineous marriage. I never thought they were brothers and sisters. Absolutely appalling. This is going against heaven and will be punished by God. How could Zheng Xiaoshu not know this? So in our group, there are only 2 or 3 normal people in each generation, and those who have complete intelligence. There is only one person. The rest are either monsters or downright evil. And they are all candidates with the qualifications of the Emperor of Heaven, and I am one of them. Is this kind of luck a blessing or a disaster for me? My compatriots throughout the ages have either become slaves to murder, or they have become victims of resisting the condemnation of heaven. And those with complete spiritual intelligence, although they have the qualifications of a heavenly emperor, must break through the quasi-immortal restriction within 1,000,000 years. But since the collapse of the heavenly court era, the person who violated the ban on quasi-immortals has been unable to be found. Already with the disintegration of the heavenly era, he stayed in that legendary world. Zheng Xiaoshu described the incident as lightly as a bystander. Have you never resisted something that goes against the laws of nature? Xiao Jiangxin asked in disbelief. Zheng Xiaoshu smiled sadly. The smile was mixed with helplessness and contempt. Resist? How come we have never resisted? But do you know what the result of resistance is? Do you know how cruel those people are to the rebels? How did my father fall in love with his biological sister? It's because he is the most fierce person among the rebels and he wants to change this terrible trend. Although they vowed to bring the family to another prosperous scene, those old thieves did not stop them. But it guided him to another path and met the girl who he fell in love with at first sight. The two were in love with each other and had many similar views. My father thought he had found true love. Until my birth made him completely obsessed, his lover, my mother. She is actually his only biological sister. Since then, he has changed. He not only kills all those who resist. Even I became the target of his calculations. For so many years, I have been afraid to be emotional. I'm afraid that I will become like him, and I'm even more afraid that my so-called true love. It's just a game of chess planned by others. Xiao Jiangxin, do you know? So many years. This is the first time I have confided my feelings to others. I am overwhelmed by such a family. Speaking of which, Zheng Xiaoshu's face turned pale. That family. It was an existence that made him unable to breathe even mentioning it. Xiao Jiangxin could not imagine a knight who was going to change the world. But was changed by the world. Even worse than those people. You can resist. Xiao Jiangxin encouraged him. Why have I never thought about it? But do you know? People like me have always. They will all choose to resist, but what will be the final result? All assimilated like my father. Even more terrifying than those performers. And their thoughts in the heavenly era were severely damaged. The poisonous spirit is so powerful that even if I, the emperor, are smart, I can't possibly shake such a powerful being. What I'm more afraid of is that if I fail to resist, I will end up like them. Zheng Xiaoshu's tone was filled with a strong sense of powerlessness. Even his energy and spirit became decadent. Don't be afraid, I will help you. No matter how difficult the thing you have to do is. I will support you unconditionally. So, be bold and do what you want to do. Xiao Jiangxin looked at him firmly. Zheng Xiaoshu's eyes flashed brightly when he heard this. Then it became dim again. No, it will hurt you. Even the quasi-immortals in the family can't do it, let alone you and me. There was a pause. He looked at Xiao Jiangxin. If one day I become that person, I hope you can kill me without hesitation. Xiao Jiangxin fell silent. He didn't know how to answer. Why didn't he understand what Zheng Xiaoshu was worried about? The mind is full but the strength is not enough. You will be able to resist them one day, but if you can't do it now, it doesn't mean you won't be able to in the future. Xiao Jiangxin could only comfort him silently. When facing an extremely powerful enemy, you need to conserve your energy first. Only by improving your own strength can you defeat it completely. Rather than making unnecessary sacrifices. Zheng Xiaoshu smiled knowingly. At this time, a terrifying momentum instantly rushed into the sky. The endless power of law makes the whole heaven tremble. All the gods looked away. What happens? What a terrifying momentum. This is the noise coming from the direction of the death realm. It's the titled emperor. It's the titled emperor who took action. What happened to the death realm? Just as everyone was talking about it, there were bursts of powerful sounds from the sky. That sound is shocking and breathtaking. I, the great Emperor of Samsara, feel the suffering of the human world today, and have specially created the 6 paths of Samsara. To provide a place for living souls to return to, so they no longer need to suffer the pain of duckweeds. The 6 paths of reincarnation, stand. Boom. A huge roar sounded instantly. Countless creatures were shocked. Establishing the 6 paths of reincarnation allows the living soul to return. This is a supreme merit. But the establishment of the 6 paths of reincarnation has violated the interests of the death realm. I'm afraid it won't go so smoothly. The ghost tribe and the underworld tribe will not let him succeed. Does this need to be said? If you just look back, the strong men from the ghost clan and the underworld clan will definitely appear. Just when everyone was talking about it, there were constant sounds of roulette wheels turning in the void. The endless power of heavenly laws continues to impact people's sight. Waves of Suanhuang's energy soared into the sky. It turned into 6 layers of roulette wheels of different sizes and appeared in people's eyes. At the same time, a majestic giant figure also gradually appeared. Although he looks like a middle-aged man. The moment the wheel of reincarnation starts, let Emperor Samsara have absolute confidence in the completion of this mission. The emergence of ancient giants. Such a terrifying speed of improvement. However, Emperor Samsara was not afraid at all. The Samsara Emperor unleashes his power to the fullest. The giants of the Nether clan and the Ghost clan were naturally irritated and angered. The improvement of cultivation strength. It makes people feel like they are in the cold and dark ghost world of the underworld. A series of majestic voices came from the sky. It was as if they were not familiar with the reincarnation emperor at all. Everyone couldn't help but feel doubtful. The mysterious and yellow energy continued to penetrate into the man's body. The figures of countless ancient giants can no longer sit still. It's simply overestimating one's abilities. Emperor Samsara looked up to the sky and laughed. As the wheel spins, looking at Xiao Xian, who is far away but right in front of him, I saw that his cultivation level directly broke through from the 1st level of the titled emperor to the 5th level. Everyone remained silent in tacit agreement. When they looked at the familiar figure in the sky, it shocked countless creatures. You are so brave, Samsara. A person with a mere cultivation level of the 5th heavenly realm, the title of Great Emperor, dares to belittle oneself and create 6 paths of reincarnation. Why should I ask your opinions? Since I want to create reincarnation, how can you stop me? But it gives people an ethereal fairy aura. I saw them appearing in front of Emperor Samsara one after another. This emperor created the 6 paths of reincarnation to find a destination for the souls of all living beings. How presumptuous! How could you create the 6 paths of reincarnation at your own initiative? Even if we let you create it, do you have the strength? If you are not convinced, you can compete with me and see if you are better, or if my methods are better. I saw that there was a light in his eyes that looked down upon the world. Immediately he attacked the Samsara Emperor. Let the air pressure in the heavens drop instantly. Such visions naturally attracted the attention of the Xiao family's genius. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 203. Only you. You also want to create 6 paths of reincarnation. Ha! What a fantastic idea. A terrifying emperor suddenly appeared. Suddenly, the smell of blood assaulted his nostrils. The blood-stained energy caused countless creatures to wither in an instant. In the shocked eyes of countless people, the true face of the great emperor also appeared in front of everyone. It's actually him. The blood-robed emperor. He has already exceeded the title of Great Emperor for 7 million years. He is even a hair's breadth away from being a quasi-immortal. The blood-robed emperor is one of the giants in the heavens. Even the great forces in the heavens dare not offend him easily. Countless people were shocked and talking. After the appearance of the blood-robed emperor, 4 or 5 great emperors appeared one after another. Reincarnation: this emperor gives you a chance to remove the 6 paths of reincarnation, otherwise, you will only die. This sounds. Even the earth made a sound. The boundless aura of the emperor swallowed up the eternal stars. The vast stars also became dim at this moment. Although the great emperors behind him did not speak. But they just exploded with this momentum. It's enough to destroy a galaxy. The terrifying great emperor's domain locks reincarnation tightly. It seemed like he was going to kill him on the spot. Emperor Samsara remained calm. Not affected by their momentum at all. When will this emperor interfere with you when I am doing something? Do you deserve it? Presumptuous. I don't know what's wrong. Die. The pride of the titled emperor cannot be insulted. Not to mention, or an enemy who violates his own interests. Several great emperors launched an offensive at the same time. The boundless terrifying momentum swept across the sky. In an instant, huge waves of stars arose. The endless power of the emperor shocks the soul. The true bodies and magic weapons of the great emperors continue to appear in the sky. Demons and monsters appeared one by one, devouring the sky and the earth. Anger breaks the mountains and rivers. With the imperial power that swallows the stars, he launches an attack on Samsara. All the gods raised their heads in shock. Samsara smiled with a calm expression. The attack power is good, but it's a pity that it can't do any damage to me. Samsara looks down upon the earth. Looking at the rotating 6-way roulette wheel. I have created the 6 paths of reincarnation, and they have been unparalleled throughout the ages. You are blocked by your own desires. How can I do what everyone wants? Today, I will use your blood to open the wheel of reincarnation. The calm voice kept echoing in everyone's ears. The terrifying attacks of the 5 great emperors turned into streams of light and struck directly. Samsara looked at the grinning people indifferently. It's like watching a clown. Rise. Pointed out. A huge shadow stretches across the void. It caused the void to make a shattering sound. Fall. Press down with one palm. An ancient and eternal land roared. There were constant sounds of shattering and destruction. One palm, destroy nothing. The words of reincarnation shocked countless people. Facing the attacks of 5 great emperors at the same time. How dare you say such arrogant words? Is he really that scary? The 5 great emperors were completely angered. All of them were furious. An extremely terrifying power erupted. You're still talking nonsense here even when you're about to die. Reincarnation, there is a way to heaven, but you don't take it, and there is no door to hell, so you force your way through it. Since you have decided to die, we can only fulfill it. Take your life. If you create the 6 paths of reincarnation and create the underworld, I will let you be the first person to enter reincarnation and go to the underworld. Reincarnation? Ha! Why don't you go explore the way for them first? Zio's nonsense, suffer death. The 5 great emperors took action at the same time. The boundless power made the heavens tremble. The battle between the great emperor is not terrible. The endless riots are frightening. Gunshots and thunder. Blade light and blood shadow. The sword pierces the sky. Fists splitting mountains and rivers. Blood spilled in the sky. 5 terrifying attacks were launched simultaneously. A duel between titled emperors is enough to create a new world. At this moment, I am so angry. Face this blow. Samsara looked calm. I saw him wave his hand. The phantom gradually merged with the 5 killing moves. The boundless emperor's true intentions collided at this moment. The long river of time and space is also being opened and closed at this moment. The sea of stars boils. Time and space intersect. Countless small worlds were hit by the aftermath of the attack. The emergence of the long river of time and space. It means that the carrying capacity is close to the limit. With the grasp of the big palm of reincarnation, the long river of time and space finally could not withstand such a terrifying attack power. Suddenly burst. The killing moves of the 5 great emperors were defeated one by one at this moment. Hiss. All the creatures in the world couldn't help but gasp. All the living beings in the Death Realm and the Ghost Clan were shocked when they saw this scene. The Samsara Emperor fights against the 5 great emperors on his own. Unexpectedly, he was not damaged at all. What a horror! However, the aftermath of that palm was still impacting the surrounding stars. I saw the destruction of galaxies within 1,000,000 miles. Stars explode. A huge mushroom cloud nearly 1,000,000 feet high suddenly appeared in front of us. Wait until the smoke clears. Everyone discovered that the 5 great emperors actually showed a strong fear of the Samsara Emperor. How shocking this is! The 5 great emperors were silent at the same time. The look in their eyes towards Emperor Samsara showed disbelief. Samsara slowly retracted his hand. He looked at them with a calm expression. It's okay to kill them. But it takes some time. But the creation of the 6 paths of reincarnation cannot wait for this time. They are all thousands of years old. Those 5 great emperors can reach this point. It depends on more than just strength. And assess the situation. Since he can't do anything to this newly titled emperor, then they can choose to attack conservatively. The blood-robed emperor took a step forward. Samsara, you are very strong. In this battle, we are not as good as you. Wow! As soon as this statement came out, there was an uproar in the crowd. Then he looked at the other 4 great emperors in astonishment. But he saw that the other party looked ugly, but chose to remain silent. Obviously he has no objection to what the blood-robed emperor said. The blood-robed emperor looked at Samsara seriously. Although we are not as mature as you, it's not that easy if you want us to stop interfering in the 6 paths of reincarnation. Samsara smiled calmly. Gentleman extends his hand. Fight if you don't accept it. The blood-robed emperor and others felt as uncomfortable as if they had eaten flies. But he didn't dare to attack easily again. Although they have broken through the title of Great Emperor for millions of years. But I have to admit that I am not as good as this new one. It's better to ask him to come out. The blood-robed emperor looked at the 4 people around him. Then disappeared before the eyes of reincarnation. Just when Samsara was about to return to the 6 paths of Samsara carousel, there were bursts of sounds of time and space tearing apart from the sky above the death realm. An ethereal momentum swept over that was irresistible. Quasi-immortal. It's quasi-immortal. The Nether Clan and the Ghost Realm will not let go easily. So many living souls are of great benefit to them. No matter how powerful the Samsara Emperor is, he can't beat the quasi-immortal. This time, the 6 paths of reincarnation of the great reincarnation emperor will be strangled in the cradle. A strike from a quasi-immortal, even if the Samsara Emperor is the pinnacle emperor, it will be of no avail. Although the creation of the 6 paths of reincarnation by Emperor Samsara was a great meritorious deed for the benefit of the people, it is a pity that it has touched the interests of many parties. Just as everyone was talking about it, a severed finger fell slowly from the sky. The barrier power of the sky, the pull of the void, they all became vulnerable in front of him. That severed finger surged towards the will of reincarnation with the power of destroying the world. Samsara, I think you have just been promoted to the title of Great Emperor and have excellent qualifications. I will give you a chance. If you retreat and no longer create the 6 paths of reincarnation, I will spare your death. Otherwise, I will punish you without mercy. A majestic voice echoed in the sky. Then a look came from the underworld of death. Break all the rules. Split the starry sky. Stars exploded wherever they passed. Galaxy destruction. Tens of thousands of small worlds disappeared from the sky. Even the powerful emperor was caught in the corner of his eye. If you don't use secret techniques, you won't be able to escape death. Countless creatures looked at Samsara in unison. I want to see how he can withstand this attack from the quasi-immortal. One look was so terrifying. Not to mention that severed finger. In full view. The reincarnation footsteps on the six-way reincarnation turntable. At this time, the turntable has gradually shown its outline. The endless law of reincarnation surrounds him. The clothes and robes are not moving in the wind. I saw streaks of Suan Huang's chi continuously blessing him. A shocking scene happened. A terrifying ethereal aura instantly erupted. The peripheral vision swept in all directions. Alone in the world. Colliding with the quasi-immortal's gaze. Then it disappeared. Everyone gasped. My mind was shocked. Quasi-immortal. He is actually a quasi-immortal. No wonder he dared to create the 6 paths of reincarnation. It turns out he has a secret technique that can improve the quasi-immortal. The Nether clan and the Ghost clan are the 2 largest forces. No wonder he will fight against them without fear. The quasi-immortal is the strongest in the world. Judging from his fighting power against the 5 great emperors just now, he is not afraid of a single blow from the quasi-immortal. Countless people couldn't help but marvel at it. Some people didn't even recover from the shock. But I am more interested in the secret technique of reincarnation to improve the quasi-immortal. A reincarnation with quasi-immortal combat power. At this moment, he was looking at the sky without any disturbance. How about the quasi-immortal? I am fearless. Ja. Then an incredible scene happened. That one can destroy heaven and earth. Divide the void horizontally. A severed finger that explodes the stars of the galaxy. It exploded in full view of everyone. In an instant, endless blood dyed the sky red. For a time, the entire death realm fell silent. Even the people in the heavens were silent when they saw this. The quasi-immortal is so terrifying. For a moment, everyone was shocked again. Imperial War. Fairy War. They've seen it all. There are no regrets in this life. At the same time, there were sudden changes in the sky. Everyone looked up. A white-robed shadow suddenly appeared above the clouds. Drops of white mist kept falling from the phantom's hand. Take a closer look. That white-robed figure actually had a broken finger. Everyone knows it. The quasi-immortal could not speak for a long time. There was no trace of shock in his eyes. Samsara, since you can withstand my blow and are quite strong, I can let you go. However, if I don't interfere with your creation of the 6 paths of reincarnation, it doesn't mean that I will allow the living soul to enter your reincarnation. Samsara looked at the phantom without saying a word. But at this time, silence was better than sound. Seeing this, the quasi-immortal was silent for a moment. Then he said, even so, you can create the 6 paths of reincarnation, and the destination of the soul depends on your own ability. Samsara nodded without saying a word. The quasi-immortal looked at him with great interest. With your ability, what title will the Emperor Hung Monument give you? I am looking forward to it. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 204. Everyone couldn't help but be curious after hearing his words. The young Emperor Matsi was named the Demon Emperor by heaven. And the Samsara Emperor is more terrifying than the Demon Sun Emperor. So what title will he get? Samsara fell into silence listening to the quasi-immortal's words. He also wants to know what kind of title his strength can give him. Time flies by. The 6 paths of reincarnation are completely formed. Reincarnation traces the origin and finds Mu Yu's soul. Then she was handed over to Xiaoxian. Another 3,000 years pass slowly and leisurely. A colorful rose exudes a faint fragrance. It's like a girl's body fragrance. The fragrance curled up and turned into a woman. I'm alive. The woman murmured in disbelief. Then he looked at Xiaoxian, who was aside. Excitedly, he knelt on the ground and thanked her. Junior Mu Yu, thank you Senior for your rescue. I will never forget your kindness. Xiaoxian smiled lightly. There is no need for such courtesy between you and me. My resurrecting you is not a temporary act of kindness. You will know the reason after 1,000 years. Although Mu Yu didn't know what Xiaoxian meant, but he still obeyed his words and practiced in Wenjian Valley. Having lived for thousands of years, she is no longer a little girl. You can tell which one is good or bad at a glance. 500 years passed in the blink of an eye. Xiao Jian found Xiaoxian anxiously, and brought him big news. As expected, Xiaoxian felt angry after listening to Xiao Jiangxin's story. What a member of the Slayer Alliance! He has repeatedly hurt my children of the Xiao family. Mo Wuodeo, you are really good. For nearly 1,000 years, the children of the Xiao family were either seriously injured or died when they went out for training. A seemingly normal death. But because it was too normal, it aroused Xiaoxian's suspicion. He always felt that there was a huge conspiracy behind this matter. And this conspiracy is aimed at the Xiao family. The man behind all this. Probably because he was afraid of Xiao Wuxi. Otherwise, we would have taken action against the Xiao family long ago. Xiaoxian's eyes flickered. Able to disintegrate the human Slayer Alliance in the heavenly era. Its strength and means cannot be underestimated. He glanced at Xiao Jiangxin. Then he said, tell that friend of yours that I, Xiaoxian, owe him a favor. A glimmer of light flashed in Xiao Jiangxin's eyes. Then he nodded and left. When he passed through the grassland halfway up the mountain. When he saw the woman, he couldn't help but froze. And Xiaoxian also appeared behind him at this moment. Everything Xiao Tianyun experienced outside appeared before his eyes. Xiao Jiangxin's heart throbbed hard. He has suffered so much outside. For a moment, a look of perseverance flashed in his eyes. As brothers who have lived and died together. How could he tolerate his best friend being so wronged? It seems it's time to prepare to break through to the quasi-emperor. Xiaoxian looked at the smiling face of the woman halfway up the mountain. A trace of cruelty flashed in his eyes. Alliance of human slayers. No matter how deeply intertwined you are. It hurts the children of my family. They all have to pay a heavy price. Hundreds of years passed by in a flash. Xiaoxian's understanding of the art of converting one qi into 3 pure states has also reached a higher level. Mysterious and mysterious, the door to all mysteries. Wonderful. Wonderful. One qi transforms into 3 pure states, describing the continuation of Tao. The evolution of Tao. The formation of the Tao. In other words, the Tao is everywhere. Tolerant of all things. Tao gives rise to all things. The cycle of all things is Tao. Xiaoxian couldn't help laughing heartily. He might be able to imitate Tai's Hanglejun. Create a 3-purity body. At that time, the body of Sanking will break through to quasi-immortal. This is when he merges with the body of the 3 pure ones. Achieve true immortality. A clear process appeared in Xiaoxian's mind. Then he spent another 2 million exchange points. Refining 2 spiritual roots into clones. The clone has seen me. The 2 clones were exactly the same in appearance and age as Xiaoxian. Xiaoxian nodded when he saw this. From today on, one of you is Mu Tian, and the other is Tathagata. One of you is in charge of the heaven, giving orders to all the ministers. The second person in charge of Buddhism is the head of all Buddhas. Save the common people. Mushin, Tathagata has seen me. Xiao Xian nodded with satisfaction. A faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. 100 years passed in a blink of an eye. A huge white teleportation array suddenly appeared on the mountainside of Wenjian Valley. Xiao Tianyun's figure slowly appeared among them. The colorless realm, the perfect method that covers the sky, the method that connects all things in the world. Quasi-Emperor, break it. Xiao Tianyun's momentum exploded instantly. I saw him breaking through many shackles. The Quasi-Emperor's shackles shattered like tofu in front of him. This experience of covering the world. Not only has his strength been greatly improved, even his spiritual world has been improved. I also gained a multifaceted understanding of cultivation. This also made his spiritual path smoother. At this time, Xiao Jiangxin appeared behind him. Looking at Xiao Tianyun's changes, can't help but sigh. This experience has greatly improved you. You must have experienced hardships that ordinary people cannot accept. Xiao Tianyun saw the moment Xiao Jiangxin appeared. The eyes full of vicissitudes of life suddenly became clear. He patted his shoulder with a hearty smile. In the past tens of thousands of years, you have changed a lot. Now you are already a great heavenly lord. The master of the house has been waiting for you to come back for a long time, but before you go to see him, there is a gift that you need to receive in person. After Xiao Jiangxin said this, he guided Xiao Tianyun there. Xiao Tianyun couldn't help but have doubts in his heart. But he still followed the clouds and mist in front of him. When he saw the thatched house at the foot of the mountain, flock of white sheep, I couldn't help but feel a throb in my heart. A burst of cheerful laughter from a woman attracted him. Xiao Tianyun remained motionless as if his acupuncture points had been tapped. He stared blankly at the shepherdess who was getting closer and closer. Xiao Jian smiled knowingly and left here. The woman looked at the figure in white not far away. Thinking that it was the powerful one who resurrected himself came. He quickly stepped forward to salute. When I saw that face that appeared in countless dreams, the woman covered her mouth in silence. The tears couldn't stop falling. You finally came. The woman's voice is as clear and sweet as the collision of jade. It directly impacted Xiao Tianyun's soul. Xiao Tianyun flashed in front of her and hugged her tightly. Mu Yu, my Mu Yu. I will never let you leave my side this time. How much I suffered without you. Xiao Tianyun's voice was extremely firm. I can't wait to rub the person in front of me into my body. But he was afraid that the force would be too strong and hurt her. Mu Yu nodded with tears in her eyes. Her face was filled with a happy smile. At this time, there were roars from the sky. The boundless power of the void is constantly being shattered. It seems like some monster is trying to break through the shackles and break into the world. The endless power of law continues to tear apart the long river of time and space. What happened? This riot is the title of the great emperor. Someone actually broke into the Emperor Hung Monument. It has only been over 100,000 years since the young Emperor Mozi broke into the Emperor's Hung Monument. Who could have broken through so quickly? All the living beings in the heavens started talking about it. Looking up at the sky eagerly. I want to see where the divine breakthrough is. Under the spotlight, a figure jumped into view. It's him. It's the Emperor of Samsara. The Emperor of Samsara has finally come to the Daiheng Monument. I don't know what title the Daiheng Monument will give him. I'm really looking forward to it. The last battle between him and the quasi-immortal Broken Finger is still vivid in my mind. Everyone was talking about this. The battle between reincarnation and the 5 great emperors. And the confrontation between the quasi-immortal Broken Finger. It has long become a wonderful battle in the hearts of the powerful men and women in the world. So he appeared in front of the Emperor Hung Monument. Everyone couldn't help but be curious. I saw Samsara's gaze falling on the Emperor hung monument. The barrier belonging to the Emperor hung monument was completely shattered at this moment. Everyone couldn't help but gasp. This speed is actually faster than the Demon Emperor's young emperor. Reincarnation is indeed an invincible existence. That's for sure. When you first become a titled emperor, you will be able to defeat 5 great emperors and even break off a quasi-immortal finger. Hiss. So terrifying. They had witnessed the terror of the Demon Emperor and young emperor with their own eyes. But it's nothing compared to the great emperor of Samsara. A single glance can shatter the barrier of the Emperor hung monument. This is the first time in millions of years. At this time, there were bursts of cracks on the Emperor hung monument. Several big characters suddenly appeared on it. Tiankai Holy Emperor. Everyone couldn't help but be in an uproar. Everyone suddenly fell silent. I saw him look at the comments on the Daihang monument seriously. Couldn't help but start talking. At this time, this man wearing a mask is no less powerful than Emperor Samsara. For the words that everyone is talking about. Jade Emperor. Every title given by the Emperor hung monument has its own meaning, but Tiankai Holy Emperor. This momentum turned out to be that of the titled Emperor Chuang Daihang monument. I saw 2 big characters suddenly appearing on the Daihang monument. Jade Emperor? How dare you call yourself Jade Emperor? How arrogant! When everyone saw this, they felt that there was nothing exciting to see. The Emperor hung monument made a violent roar. A man wearing a purple mask appeared in front of him. No one had time to react. I have seen so many titles of great emperors, but this is the first time I heard about the Holy Emperor of Tiankai. I saw 2 big characters on the Daihang monument suddenly exploded. Then disappeared into the sky. Everyone was talking about this. Except for that one, this is the first person to call himself Jade. I saw him point his finger. The young Demon Emperor is the strongest of the Demon clan and has won the title of Demon Emperor. Jade Emperor. The terrifying Emperor's aura instantly rioted. Tiankai Holy Emperor? What does this title mean? Saw this account. Is this also to get a ban? However, he did not give everyone time to think. Very curious about this masked man. There was another roar from the sky. Wow! Just about to leave. Reincarnation is naturally ignored. The barrier of the Emperor hung monument was blasted once again. The mind in the heart also becomes active. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 205. Jade Emperor. This is the first time I have seen that the title and the self-proclaimed are the same. Does he have anything to do with the Emperor of Heaven? Perhaps, a new era of heaven is coming. As soon as this statement came out, the crowd instantly became excited. Strange gazes kept flowing. An ancient giant hidden in the sky also appeared at this moment. There is even a looming and misty feeling. Jade Emperor. Humph. You are not overestimating your own abilities. What a Jade Emperor. So what if you are the next Emperor of Heaven? The Emperor of Heaven also won the title of Jade Emperor back then, but he was still destroyed by our human slaughter alliance in the later stage. A new era of heaven is coming. Since the Emperor of Heaven can be destroyed by us, why not have another Jade Emperor? The leader of the immortals? Humph. The Human Slayer Alliance will never allow such a person to appear. Jade Emperor? Humph. I will make you a veritable hell. Send the order and use all your strength to kill this masked Jade Emperor. So what if you had already planned it? The Human Slaughter Alliance will not let go of anyone who threatens our power. Tide Emperor? Just another dead soul. A series of terrible sounds passed through the sky. The boundless momentum continues to flow in the void. Mu Tian looked at the people below with cold eyes. Like an emperor who rules over the world, Everyone who was staring at him couldn't help but feel a sense of awe in their hearts. The lips were not opened, but the sound came out. This emperor, who is respectfully called the Jade Emperor, wants to create a heavenly palace and an alliance of human slayers. It's time to clear up the grievances between us. The calm voice instantly caused an uproar in the heavens. Create heaven. With his strength. How powerful is that? Heaven is an existence that is opposed to all races. The alliance of human slayers? This is the first time we have heard of this force. It seems that the scene from that year is about to happen again. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Those ancient giants that have lived for eons and eons. At this moment, everyone closed their eyes and meditated. Others may not know about the Human Slayer Alliance. But they are very clear about it. They even witnessed what happened back then. The Emperor of Heaven was attracted by the conspiracy of the Human Slayer Alliance. Although there is a great opportunity to become an immortal. But whether he became an immortal or died is unknown. Now the Jade Emperor has announced that he will open heaven. It is equivalent to standing on the opposite side of the Human Slayer Alliance. Mutian couldn't help but burst out with momentum. Ignore the surprise, shock, and horror in everyone's eyes. Then he disappeared from everyone's eyes. Just when everyone thought everything was over. Another burst of Buddha's voice came from the sky. Dependent origination is extinguished, and conditioned origination is empty. This voice kept echoing in the sky. It creates a sense of tranquility. Everyone couldn't help but look up at the sky. Is this another person who broke into the Emperor Hung Monument? 3 titled emperors are going to be born in one day? It's really unbelievable. 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 Everyone looked at the sky in horror. Only one half-naked shoulder was seen. There are 9 ring scars on the head. The look between his eyebrows gives people a feeling of saving all sentient beings. There are rays of radiance of Buddha nature surrounding him. Is it possible that he has the same influence as the Jade Emperor? The Buddha's light on the Tathagata becomes even more dazzling. A huge swastika suddenly appeared in the sky. The boundless Buddha's light instantly blessed the word swastika. This person is titled Tathagata, how terrifying his strength must be. Tathagata. It's really Tathagata. No, although the 2 of them are wearing masks, they are obviously 2 different forces. Such a powerful Buddha nature makes me feel like I want to worship. Then 2 words appeared again on the Emperor Hung Monument. Just as everyone was discussing it. At the moment when the ban comes. The majestic voice keeps flowing in people's hearts. The Tathagata comes from nowhere and goes nowhere, so it is called Tathagata. The moment Tathagata appears. I don't know if there is any relationship between him and the Jade Emperor. Tathagata. It's actually Tathagata. The sea of stars boils. This moment. If I can see the true Buddha, it doesn't matter if I go to hell. It's not a legend. That's not a legend. There is hope for the prosperity of my Buddhist sect. Immediately afterwards, there was a violent explosion on the Emperor Hung Monument. Everyone was shocked again. Buddha nature also becomes stronger. Being entangled in sin. The Tathagata Buddha has come to this world. Amitabha Buddha. See this scene. There are also those who are bathed in Buddha's light. Having this title shows how thoroughly he understands Buddhism. Tathagata. But he didn't want to be another man wearing a mask. Everyone thought it was a Buddhist monk. The whole Buddhism is boiling. It makes people feel all kinds of things. Under the powerful Buddha light. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 206. The birth of 3 titled emperors in one day. It made the whole world boil. The birth of the three people also seemed to tell everyone. The world is about to become unstable. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangzhen, Xiao Qingyuan and other great geniuses. They all smelled a familiar smell from these three titled emperors. But they all remained silent in a tacit understanding. A wave of terrifying energy kept rioting. Xiao Xian looked at the changes in the sky unmoved. One qi transforming into three pure states is also the formation of Tao. Sanking is also called Sankei. They are genius, talent, and local talent respectively. It also corresponds to the mathematics of heaven, personality, and earth. Therefore, Xiao Xian borrowed the technique of converting one qi into three pure states. Created Mushin, Samsara, and Tathagata. Corresponding to the three talents of heaven, earth, and Buddha respectively. The moment when the three clones were given titles, his cultivation level directly broke through to the 9th level of the great emperor. This breakthrough did not cause any abnormalities. Tathagata looked around solemnly. Then it turned into a ray of Buddha light and flew into the sky. Wait until he appears again. Xiao Xian and the other two are already waiting. Although the four of them were silent. But they all know their own thoughts. All of a sudden, tens of thousands of masks leaped out from the Xiao family and were scattered in all areas of the heavens. These masks contain various characters. Or ghosts and monsters. Or the thousand-faced Buddha. Or gods from all walks of life. The mask in the reincarnation hand of Tiankai Holy Emperor. It contains the 10 palaces of Yama, the judge of the underworld, the city god, Po Meng, the impermanence of black and white, and the bull-headed and horse-faced. The Jade Emperor Mujia's mask depicts the 4 spirits and 28 constellations, 6 Ding Liujia, Santai Xingjun, etc. On the Tathagata's Buddhist mask are the 4 great bodhisattvas, the 8 great vajras, the 500 aras, and the 3000 enlightenments. Each mask has a trace of the original image. Not only that, the mask also contains methods of practicing heaven, earth, and Buddhism. Anyone recognized by the mask. Not only can you become one of the 3 forces, you can also get the corresponding practice methods. The birth of these masks. First, to help them practice better. Second, to hide their true identities. The Human Slayer Alliance has existed in the world since the days of heaven. It's so intertwined. Although the Xiao family is powerful, but it didn't reach the strength to compete with it. Unless Xiao Xian can break through the quasi-immortal, crush them with absolute strength. But obviously, he does not have this strength now. The appearance of the mask caused fear in the Human Slayer Alliance. In an area where spiritual thoughts gather, there are countless ancient giants hidden inside. Even just a wisp of breath is enough to destroy a star. Even if you reach the realm of the great emperor, you will not be able to escape death. Damn Jade Emperor. I think he had a premeditated plan to go to the Emperor Hung Monument. This time the mask dropped. Even if all the members of the Human Slayer Alliance were dispatched, they couldn't find a single piece. Is it possible to really let him create heaven and become the new Emperor of Heaven? Humph. It's just a titled Emperor. If we join forces, we can't cure him. This person should not be underestimated. It can be seen from the residual power of his shots that he is almost invincible under the quasi-immortal. Don't forget that the Emperor of Heaven was as unknown as him back then. No matter what, the heaven of that year cannot be recreated. No matter how strong this Jade Emperor is, if one can't beat him, there will be 2, and if he can't beat 2, then there will be 5. I don't believe we can't kill him. We must never let him regain his former glory in heaven. A series of terrifying spiritual thoughts converged in this area. Just then a voice came again. Nearly 10,000 people wearing masks have appeared in the heavens, and they are all the same regardless of their moves, techniques, and martial arts. The wearers of these masks belong to the 3 forces. Obviously they are 3 forces, but they are inextricably linked. What is the relationship between these three parties in the world? The Golden Horn Emperor who broke through not long ago was originally imprisoned in the 9th level of the Great Emperor for millions of years, but suddenly broke through the title of Great Emperor. According to investigation, the person behind him is the Holy Emperor Tiankai. Just when everyone was talking about it, an ancient voice echoed in my heart. Send the order. Tathagata and the Holy Emperor Tiankai can ignore it and use all their strength to kill the Jade Emperor. Be sure to kill it completely. Anyone who wears the Jade Emperor's mask will be killed regardless of whether they are human or demon. In addition, you can kill 1,000 by mistake and don't let anyone go. In addition, what is the relationship between these three? Once any clues are found, they must be completely eliminated. Prevent any possibility of heaven reappearing. The appearance of this voice. Everyone fell silent. This is the order of the leader of the Human Slayer Alliance. You can't send it unless you are a quasi-mortal. No non-emergency major tasks are allowed. Since the founding of the Human Slayer Alliance, it was the same one that destroyed heaven. I will obey the order of the leader. The senior personnel of the Human Slayer Alliance received the news. They left directly from here to their respective base camps. Behind them is the leader of the Human Slayer Alliance. There are countless people like Emo Wudeo working for them. In the Black Dragon Valley, the leader of the Black Dragon clan looked at the mask in his hand and fell into deep thought. I couldn't help myself for a long time. In this mask, he comprehended the true meaning that he had never been able to comprehend in his entire life. He even got his own title, Dragon King of the West Sea. This is a mask of heaven. And the holders with the same mask. They all rely on this mask to communicate. They sense each other's presence. But he couldn't sense the other party's identity. The very center of the mask. There is a huge palace. Tasks are distributed every day in the palace. Complete tasks to exchange for what you want. You can also choose to accumulate and exchange for something with better value. Everything in the heavens is there. There are also all the things that are not found in the heavens. Ethereal and unreal scenes. It makes him feel as if he is really in the fairy world. Originally, he was worried that his identity would be exposed after obtaining the mask. This caused the entire Black Dragon clan to be targeted by the Human Slayer Alliance. However, he discovered it when he entered. I really worry too much. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 207. The Mask of the Dragon King of the West Sea is really a good thing, but I wonder what its relationship is with the Jade Emperor. The Black Dragon Emperor carefully looked at the mask in his hand. There are various runes engraved inside. At first glance it looks unremarkable. After injecting a trace of spiritual thought, there is another world inside. There is a treasure exchange area among them. Not only can you use magic weapons to exchange for items and points, you can also exchange points for treasures. These treasures cannot be found even in the heavens. Look at these heartwarming treasures. The Black Dragon Emperor's hands couldn't help but tremble. His heart was like a plucked string. Quasi-mortal. This mask can help him break through to the quasi-mortal realm, even reaching the legendary realm. Then he took out several quasi-emperor treasures that he had collected. Exchange for redemption points. It has been detected that there are 10 quasi-emperor magic weapons and 8 great emperor treasures should they be converted into exchange points. The Black Dragon Emperor hesitated slightly. Withdraw 5 pieces of the Emperor's treasure. Then click on the page and select Redeem. 10 quasi-emperor magic weapons and 3 emperor treasures can be converted into 120 redemption points. Do you want to redeem them? The corners of the Black Dragon Emperor's mouth couldn't help but twitch. These treasures were accumulated by him over the years. It can only be exchanged for 120 points. Try it. You have to know the truth and the lies. The Black Dragon Emperor gritted his teeth. Exchange these magic weapons directly. The next moment, all the treasures, elixirs, exercises, and martial arts that he could redeem appeared before his eyes. Emperor Pill, an exclusive elixir for the titled emperor. Taking it can help break through the shackles of many years. Redemption points, 1980. The Black Dragon Emperor looked at the column of his exchange point that showed 520. I can't help but feel pity. Ding, it has been detected that the Dragon King of the West Sea is a newcomer. You can buy it at half price. Do you want to spend 490 to redeem it? The Black Dragon Emperor's heart moved. Then consume the previous emperor's treasure. In exchange for a great emperor pill. Looking at the almost weightless elixir in his hand. Afraid of disappearing the next moment. He quickly covered it with his hands and put it in his mouth. Suddenly, a terrifying aura of majesty burst out from his body instantly. Time passes by another 100 years. The cultivation level of the Black Dragon Emperor has also been raised to the 8th level of the titled Emperor. I didn't expect that my cultivation, which was stuck in the 6th level of the titled Emperor, would break through at this moment. It's a pity that this elixir can only be taken once in a lifetime. And because he is a newcomer, he also received a newcomer gift package. With the help of the elixir and the big gift package, he broke through to the 2nd level. This mask is so powerful that even the Emperor of Heaven couldn't do it. No matter what, I cannot let others know about this mask. Whether I can become a quasi-immortal and break through the legendary realm depends on it. Then he turned his attention to the taskbar aside. Except for the exchange area. There is also a taskbar. After successfully completing the collection task, you will receive the corresponding prize. This includes rare redemption points. It's just that these tasks are too difficult. Even if he is a titled emperor, he would not dare to take it. Eradicate the alliance of human slayers, uproot the alliance of human slayers. Complete the mission to obtain fairy-level treasures. Break through the 3rd realm. Titled Emperor Peak can accumulate mana. Get an additional 5 million redemption points. Kill Shi-Chi, a senior member of the Slayer Alliance. You will receive 400,000 redemption points upon completing the mission. Kill the top quasi-immortal of the Slayer Alliance. You can get 300,000 redemption points after completing the mission. Investigating the base area of the Human Slayer Alliance branch. You can get 200,000 redemption points after completing the task. The Master of Wanjia Pavilion, Emperor Wu, has the aura of the Slayer Alliance. After investigating and confirming his identity. If the other party does not share the task or voluntarily give up the task, no one can claim it again. He cannot be killed unless he is a quasi-immortal or a titled emperor from the 9 heavens. Another broadcast came out. Just when the Black Dragon Emperor was still shocked. He cannot be killed unless he is a quasi-immortal. After all, these are not things he can do. Destroy the Human Slayer Alliance branch base, complete the task to get 250,000 redemption points. It's even possible to kill it. Therefore, the Black Dragon Emperor is not worried at all about his identity being exposed. Then he looked at the martial arts inside the mask and fell into deep thought. But after seeing these difficulties. But even so. So he set his sights on that figure. Kill it to get 60,000 redemption points. And you can get 3 treasures. Investigate the true identity of the titled Emperor King Hua. After completing the task, you will receive 5,000 redemption points. The Black Dragon Emperor felt very helpless again. The Black Dragon Emperor's heart shook violently when he saw this. His strength has even reached the 8th level of the titled Emperor. Emperor King Hua is an established giant in the heavens. It can be seen that his strength is at least the 9th level. There were still broadcasts of other mask collection tasks in the square. Anyone who wears a mask. It's small but you can try it. Killing it can get 30,000 redemption points. This task has been received by Huo Yunxing Jun. The Black Dragon Emperor was shocked when he saw this. No matter what your level of cultivation or identity is, we can't detect it. Since he can't do those large tasks. Seeing this, the Black Dragon Emperor no longer knows how to write the word num. A series of tasks and redemption points made him excited. Emperor Wu is a veteran emperor who has existed since the days of heaven. At least it is the realm of the titled Great Emperor Ninth Heaven. In other words, the Lingkong Emperor was at least the peak of the titled emperor and even a quasi-immortal. Emperor Lingkong successfully received the mission. If there is no invitation from the other party to share it or you give it up voluntarily, others can no longer claim it. This Lord Huo Yongxing actually dared to take on this mission. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 208. Pure-blooded Black Dragon clan leader Mo Wudeo is suspected of joining the Human Slayer Alliance and is now issuing an investigation mission. You can get 300 redemption points for investigating and confirming your identity, and you can get 2000 redemption points for killing. The Black Dragon Emperor couldn't help but sink when he saw this. He saw Mo Wudeo's changes. As a half-emperor, there is no possibility of him breaking through to the title of Great Emperor. However, during this time, his cultivation progressed by leaps and bounds. He even broke through the title of Great Emperor. Recently, they have been constantly plundering the powerful emperors of the human race. After each raid, his cultivation level has improved to a higher level. He had seen this secret method in ancient books. It's the secret method of the Human Slayer Alliance. Non-senior personnel cannot teach it. He couldn't help but snorted when he thought of this. I hesitated to click to receive the mission. The Dragon King of the West Sea collects and investigates the identity of the leader of the Black Dragon clan unless the other party shares it or gives it up voluntarily, others cannot collect it again. The Black Dragon Emperor directly locked his consciousness on Mo Wudeo. At this time, he was converting the techniques on the Human Emperor. He was now certain that Mo Wudeo was a member of the Human Slayer Alliance. I just don't know how to submit the task. I looked through the page and couldn't find the relevant taskbar. At this time, a cold voice sounded again. Ding, it has been detected that the Dragon King of the West Sea has confirmed the identity of Mo Wudeo and is confirmed to be a member of the Human Slayer Alliance. Choice 1, get 300 redemption points. Option 2, kill it and get 2300 redemption points. Mo Wudeo, the leader of the Black Dragon clan, the Night Emperor preached and joined the Human Slayer Alliance, codenamed Wudeaji. With the confirmation of Mo Wudeo's identity, his relevant information was also released one by one. Mo Wudeo chose the second option without hesitation. Then he put on the mask of the Dragon King of the West Sea and left. At the same time, Mo Wudeo also received a new task. At this moment, he is rushing to the mission destination. At this time, suddenly there was a strong wind in the sky. Dark clouds cover the sun. A majestic and terrifying momentum continued to sweep over. Then a vacuum zone appeared in front of him. They are both titled emperors. But only the old and powerful can have such strength. Mo Wudeo is the best at assessing the situation. He quickly clasped his fists and saluted. Junior Mo Wudeo is paying tribute to Senior. I wonder if Senior has something important to do when he stops him. Then a man in black wearing a heavenly mask appeared in front of him. The terrifying aura emanating from the other party made him tremble with fear. At least the titled Emperor 8th Heaven. These people wearing masks. Not only against their alliance of human slayers. They even went so far as to kill every member of their Human Slayer Alliance. The alliance of immortal human slayers will not give up. Mo Wudeo continued to speak without waiting. What the other party said made him frightened again. The leader of the Black Dragon clan, Mo Wudeo, is a subordinate of the Human Slaughter Alliance, Emperor Ye, codenamed Wudeaji. Mo Wudeo was even more panicked after his identity was recognized. Heavenly Mask. You are from the Jade Emperor. All members of the Human Slaughter Alliance who are targeted by heaven, underworld, and Buddhism will only die. Mo Wudeo knew that he could not escape and his heart was filled with despair. But he doesn't regret joining the Human Slayer Alliance. If there is no Human Slayer Alliance, he is still the half-emperor who can be easily defeated and laughed at. So what about heaven? So what if you kill me? The Human Slayer Alliance has been established for hundreds of millions of years. The previous era of Heavenly Emperor and Heavenly Court could be disintegrated, but you can't stand proudly in the world either. Mo Wudeo looked at him with hatred. If he knew that under the mask was the Black Dragon Elder he respected. I don't know how to react. Ignorant and fearless. The Black Dragon Emperor responded calmly. Is heaven really so easily disintegrated? Ridiculous. The world only sees what they want you to see. The real truth has long been covered up. Those who participated in the incident at that time cannot yet know what happened. Not to mention the fish and shrimp on the surface of the sea. A domineering emperor's aura broke out instantly. Prepare for what comes next. I don't know how many members of the Black Dragon clan are still members of the Human Slayer Alliance. In a royal court, Xiao Qingyun slowly opened his cold eyes. Even he was frightened. Xiao Xian ignored the changes in the outside world. The moment I saw Xiao Qingyun, I shed 2 lines of tears. Mo Wudeo looked at the person in front of him in disbelief. As her voice fell to the ground. Or maybe it's because of my son-like feelings towards him. The woman's body erupted with the terrifying aura of a titled emperor. It's you. Time passes. He never imagined that the person who killed him turned out to be the Black Dragon Elder who saved him. There is no way, the temptation of this mask is too great. His eyes widened in horror. Those who rebel against the clan will be punished. You are from the Black Dragon clan. Palace Master. A woman in white court clothes appeared in front of her. This made the Black Dragon Emperor feel compassionate. The dragon's claws kept passing through his chest. He even knelt down, like a loyal servant. As soon as the idea came up. But he is such a strong man. He took off his mask and revealed his true face to him. The Black Dragon Emperor put away Mo Wudeo's body indifferently. Then he looked at the redemption point in the mask and muttered to himself. Mo Wudeo continued to speak without waiting. Maybe he thought of Mo Wudeo's hard work over the years. Mo Wudeo looked at the unique mark of the Black Dragon. The members of the tripartite forces are constantly expanding. At this time, he is continuing to practice. I didn't expect that you still found me. Counting the time, it has been tens of millions of years. At the same time, you are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 209. Xiao Qingyun looked at her with emotion in his eyes. There was a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. Time is really worthless. I have only been reincarnated for one life, and even you have become the title of Great Emperor. Xiao Qingyun looked at the woman in front of him and couldn't help but recall what happened back then. Palace Master. Your misses you so much. The woman looked at her with eyes filled with longing and tears. Back then, she was rescued by the palace owner and brought back to Yeyu Palace, where she stayed by her side and taught her carefully. Yeyu Palace was created by Xiao Qingyun. When she was still the great emperor, she had already become an object of awe by everyone. After breaking through the title of great emperor, no one dares to rival him. It was originally thought that Yeyu Palace would enter the era of heavens under the leadership of Xiao Qingyun. However, the appearance of a book called The Supreme Court of Gods attracted her attention. and fell in the competition among many titled emperors. Qin Yuer took over the position of palace master as her confidant. However, his own talent and strength were far different from Xiao Qingyun's. After taking over as the palace master, he had no choice but to live in seclusion. Looking at Xiao Qingyun's face, she felt so ashamed that she could not face the cultivation she had made of herself. Palace master, Yuer is sorry for your failure to carry forward Yeyu Palace. Xiao Qingyun shook his head lightly. It is not easy for you to continue Yeyu Palace. Qin Yuer breathed a sigh of relief, then stood up excitedly and was about to leave. Palace master, I will bring everyone from Yeyu Palace right now. They will be very happy to see you return. Xiao Qingyun stopped her in time. No, don't disturb others with my appearance this time. Now I will break into the Nanming royal court again. But it can't be exposed easily when the time comes. I feel relieved to leave Yeyu Palace to you. It doesn't matter if we talk about the return in the future. Qin Yuer nodded, but she still had doubts about Xiao Qingyun's death that year. Palace master, why did you suddenly fall when you were competing for the Supreme Divine Court? With your resources, those people can't kill you even if they join forces. Why come back to life again? Xiao Qingyun couldn't help but sigh slightly when he recalled the battle that year. It's a long story. Now that I have recultivated my life, even though my qualifications and strength are stronger. But I am still in the growth stage, and I have accumulated too many enemies in these lifetimes. Yeyu Palace cannot protect me at all. Therefore, my existence cannot be exposed yet, and you continue to preside over Yaoyu Palace as the Moon Emperor. After you and I meet this time, please don't come again, so as not to implicate the sisters of Yaoyu Palace. Qin Yuer nodded. He bit his red lips lightly, and then took out the mask in his hand. Buddhist Guanyin Bodhisattva, Xiao Qingyun was surprised when he saw this. Qin Yuer was surprised by Xiao Qingyun's appearance and couldn't help but said, Palace Master, do you know the Guanyin Bodhisattva in Buddhism? How could Xiao Qingyun not know? Xiao Xian is planning this incident and releasing the masks of the three forces of heaven, hell, and Buddhism. They all involved the genius of the Xiao family, and these were just the smallest moves on the chessboard. Then she took out the mask in her hand. Namo Medicine Master Glazed Light King Buddha, Qin Yuer exclaimed. Since she joined Buddhism, she has a thorough understanding of Buddhism. In addition to Tathagata, Buddhism has 4 other Buddhas. There's even another one that's even more powerful. Although the status of Namo Medicine Master Lazuli Light King Buddha is not as high as that of Tathagata, but his strength and cultivation are higher than before. Sky. Xiao Qingyun's fate in every life was extremely bleak, and every time he returned, he was lonely and lonely. Xiao Qingyun couldn't help but smile. Silly girl, even if you leave Yeyu Palace, I won't say anything to you. Qin Yuer couldn't help but feel lucky when she tried to seize the secret from Xiao Xian. This time on my trip to the secret realm, it won't be difficult for me to break through to the quasi-emperor. Qin Yuer couldn't help but gasp. Fortunately, Xiao Wuxi stopped her, otherwise she wouldn't be embarrassed to see the palace master. In her cognition, listen to Xiao Qingyun tell the development history of the Xiao family. Qin Yuer nodded, and then looked at Xiao Qingyun. Then Xiao Qingyun basically told everything he had experienced in this life. Therefore, he didn't even look at the secret realm page and directly clicked on the secret realm. The secret message from the head of the family. This summons seems to be entering a new secret realm. God help me. You can also enlighten evil people who have gone astray. How can I blame you? It can be said that without this family, I would not be where I am now. But with the Guanyin Bodhisattva mask and Buddhism, she can see her in another identity. It seems that this Buddhist sect has some connection with the family I am now in. One can imagine how powerful a person can be recognized by Xiao Qingyun as the reincarnated empress. Although Qin Yuer was reluctant to give up, she still knew the seriousness of the matter. and with the exchange point in his hand now, he can exchange it for the secret realm he likes. The start of this journey to the secret realm is really determined by the timing. It all made him feel like a storm was about to come, coupled with the opening of the three forces. At the same time, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Tianyun and other geniuses also received the secret message and rushed to the Xiao family. What's more, the Buddhist sect you joined not only has a compassionate heart to save all sentient beings, but this time, not only did the family have no restrictions on me, but I also relied on him for my growth. Xiao Qingyun couldn't help but lose consciousness for a moment after hearing this. This is the first time I have encountered it in this life. Xiao Qingyun is already a very stunning person. I never thought that there would be someone more stunning than her. Palace Master, does the family have any restrictions on you this time? Why don't you leave for so long? Let his exchange points rise slowly, and the corpses of the emperor and the titled emperor can also be exchanged for exchange points. The palace master is actually a Buddhist. You was worried before, but now I'm relieved. Xiao Xian originally planned to start it again after 10,000 years, but now a series of things happened. Then Xiao Qingyun explained some things to Qin Yuer and asked her to leave. Reminiscent of the various rumors about Xiao Xian in the heavens, and the last time she and other titled emperors rushed to the Xiao family. Xiao Xian, a very legendary family owner. Now he hardly has to worry about running out of exchange points. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 210. This secret place had a strange feeling from the first moment he saw it. He didn't understand this feeling until he met Wang Shu and Ho Tu. As soon as the secret realm was formed, Xiao Tianyun, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Qingyun and others arrived. You little bastards, you're pretty fast. The master of the house has spoken, we must come quickly. Xiao Qingyun made fun of Xiao Xian as soon as he arrived, and the words came out of his mouth. Not only did the people around her look at her in surprise, but she herself was also shocked. It's so out of control. Xiao Xian smiled calmly and waved his hand. The secret realm we are going to this time is where Nuwa creates humans. Everyone couldn't help but be shocked when they heard this. Create a human being. How much supernatural power does this have to create a human being? Everyone was extremely excited, wanting to see what other ways humans could create besides the union of men and women. As the picture continued to fragment, waves of rich fresh spiritual energy continued to fill the tip of the nose. It makes people feel comfortable all over their body. In a lush forest, a beautiful woman has her long hair hanging loose. With a loving smile on his face, he was holding a clay figurine in his hand. There are various small clay figurines placed beside her, and with the completion of the last clay figurine, the woman took out a jade vase with several fairy branches in it, and at the moment she was waving the fairy branches, 2 drops of blood also dripped down, the combination of fairy water and blood. It emits a faint golden color and reflects the colorful rainbow under the sunlight. When he saw the 2 drops of Nuwa's blood, Xiao Xian clearly felt that the blood in his body was churning. It's like this blood comes from the same origin as the one in your body. Xiao Xian did not dare to suppress this feeling that was about to come out, and could only calm down slowly. The moment Xiao Xian saw Nuwa's face, a scene also appeared in his mind. Besides Nuwa, there was another person, but that person's figure was blurry. That familiar feeling came over me again. Nuwa fabricated more and more humans, and they were all over the ground in the blink of an eye. Even taking root and growing in the forest, Nuwa looked at the human being she created with a happy smile on her face. Human beings are carefree. It's a pity that humans born in the mire can escape from the mire without being stained. A man in black clothes stood behind her, with a hint of contempt in his words. Just when everyone was confused, Xiao Xian's explanation sounded at the right time. This is Nuwa, the great creator of human beings. Standing behind her is her brother Fuxi. The jade bottle of pure water in her hand can make flesh, white bones, and the living dead. Everyone looked incredulously when they heard Xiao Xian's words. Flesh and bones of the living dead. Even just one drop. It can allow them to save themselves at the critical moment of life and death. It's hard to find even a drop of this divine water in the heavens. How powerful is Nuwa? She is as powerful as Dong Huangtai. Just when everyone was talking about it, Xiao Xian's eyes were firmly fixed on Nuwa. However, Nuwa's happiness did not last long, as humans grew. They are also coming into contact with more and more, and there are many uncontrollable factors. Everyone in the Xiao family also discovered that there was a trace of black energy lingering on these human beings. The black air connected to the soil beneath their feet. This is the evil spirit, which is closely connected with the netherworld under the earth. Man is created from water and loess. The loess is also infiltrated by the netherworld, so it has its own hostility. Under the catalysis of the netherworld, it can amplify people's desires and do whatever it takes to achieve benefits. Finally go to destruction. Xiao Xian's explanation sounded at the right time. Everyone in the Xiao family was surprised. Violent. It's so powerful. It's so scary. Looking at the humans who are gradually becoming greedy, Nuwa cannot stop them. She sheds tears all day long, in order to prevent human beings from going to more extremes. She borrowed 3,000 galaxies from her brother Fuxi and weaved a large web with him. It separates humans and the underworld, forming two realms, upper and lower. However, just when everyone in the Xiao family thought everything was about to be on track, Fuxi disappeared, and humans began to kill each other under the influence of hostility. The hostility of the netherworld below is also affecting everything, and human desires cannot be satisfied. I will use everything I have to save the common people and save mankind. As a last resort, Nuwa sacrificed the Nuwa sword and divided the land into two. Everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but guess the origin of the divine sword. After Nuwa left, the world became even more miserable. This sword is completely integrated. Could it be a half-life divine sword? To prevent all this from happening, the only way is to destroy mankind, but as a mother, how can she bear it? Not only were spiritual beasts and spiritual pets born, but even spirits appeared frequently. Everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but widen their eyes when they saw this scene. No, I don't regret it. It was because I was careless when creating human beings that I allowed the opportunity for violence to take advantage of me. Transformed into two realms to prevent the evil spirit of the netherworld from emerging. Although you can't see him, you can know where he is. Their head of the family actually has close relationships with so many powerful people. First it was Wangshu, then Hutu, and now Nuwa. Nuwa looked at the sky, looking at Xiao Xian's location across countless galactic years. This Yuanling accidentally obtained this artifact. After practicing for countless lifetimes, Yuanling's merits and virtues were perfected and Taoism was achieved. Do you regret creating these humans? Nuwa looked at Xiao Xian with a face full of reluctance and helplessness, and murmured in a low voice. Even killing the same kind to steal the magic weapon. For a time, corpses lay everywhere and blood flowed into rivers. Xiao Xian's heart moved. The two of them were far away in the horizon, but they seemed to be right in front of them. Am I wrong? No, I'm right. Everything is worth it. Do you see it? He turned around and looked at Nuwa, who was covering her face and crying, her eyes filled with helplessness. However, even if Nuwa gave up her body, she could not stop all this from happening. Xiao Xian nodded. This sword is called Nuwa sword. It is a half-life divine sword and a magic weapon for enlightenment. What kind of sword is this? It can actually split the land into two. This is the ancestor of all things, called the founding spirit. At this time, it uses the supreme spiritual power of this artifact of creation. Give 4 other creatures with different images and newly opened spiritual apertures to each of them to practice one discipline. Nuwa is one of them. In the picture, Nuwa watches in despair as the humans she created kill each other. At the beginning of the prehistoric period, there was a Yuanling, whose dexterity first emerged and gradually gained sanity. At this time, West Kunlun had an artifact from the beginning of the universe. Unexpectedly, this Nuwa sword is even worse. In this riot, various species fight to survive. For the sake of immortality and endless magical power, he keeps killing spiritual beasts. Everyone was even more shocked when they heard this explanation. A jade bottle was already heartwarming enough. Everyone in the Xiao family looked at the scene in front of them in surprise. The Emperor of Heaven looked at the world where people were wailing and doing whatever they could to gain benefits. The hostility underneath is accumulating more and more, and even Nuwa cannot fill it with her body.